The clock ticks past midnight. Across towns and cities, a silence falls. There is no sound of cars, no hum of refrigerators, no flicker of television screens. Humanity has vanished. In this moment, the world changes. The first sign is the darkness. Power plants, reliant on human hands, fall silent. Cities that once blazed with light are plunged into an unfamiliar darkness, the stars now visible with a startling clarity. The great machines of industry grind to a halt, their purpose forgotten. The air, usually thick with pollutants, begins to clear. Without constant emissions from vehicles and factories, the atmosphere experiences a sudden, unexpected cleanse. But this is just the beginning. The planet is about to embark on a remarkable transformation. The age of humans is over. The age of nature has begun. Within days, the absence of humans is felt acutely by those creatures most dependent on them. Pets, left alone in empty homes, face a desperate search for food and water. Some, resourceful and resilient, manage to escape into the surrounding wilderness. Others are not so fortunate. Livestock, confined to barns and pastures, experience a similar fate. Cows, pigs and chickens, bred for generations to rely on human care, are now at the mercy of the elements and the instincts they barely remember. Some animals, their natural instincts reawakened, adapt to their newfound freedom. Others succumb to hunger, thirst, or predation. In the wild, creatures react with a mixture of confusion and opportunity. The constant pressure of human encroachment eases, but so does the availability of easy food sources. The delicate balance of the ecosystem, disrupted for centuries, begins to right itself in unpredictable ways. A year passes. The concrete jungles of our cities begin to yield to an unstoppable force nature. Weeds push through cracks in pavements, their roots burrowing deep in search of water and nourishment. Vines like emerald tentacles creep up the walls of buildings, their leaves drinking in the sunlight. Gardens, once meticulously maintained, erupt in a riot of color as flowers bloom with wild abandon. Trees, their seeds carried by the wind, take root in the unlikeliest of places. Rooftops, abandoned cars, even the cracks in crumbling sidewalks. Nature, patient and persistent, is reclaiming its dominion over the landscape. Animals, emboldened by the absence of humans, venture further into the urban sprawl. Deer graze on suburban lawns, their hooves clicking against empty streets. Birds build nests in abandoned buildings, their songs echoing through deserted corridors. The city, once a symbol of human dominance, is slowly being absorbed back into the embrace of the wild. 10 years have passed since the disappearance of humanity. The relentless march of time and the elements have taken their toll on the structures we left behind. Metal, once gleaming and strong, now wears a coat of rust. The steel skeletons of buildings exposed to the wind and rain begin to weaken. Bridges, once symbols of human ingenuity, sag and crumble, their foundations eroded by the relentless flow of rivers. Roads, once teeming with traffic, are now fractured ribbons of asphalt, slowly being reclaimed by the encroaching vegetation. The built environment, no longer maintained, surrenders to the inevitable forces of decay. But within this decay, life finds a foothold. Trees, their roots anchored in the crumbling concrete, reach for the sky. Animals make their homes in the ruins, finding shelter in the shadows of forgotten buildings. The line between the natural and the man-made blurs, a testament to nature's ability to adapt and thrive even in the most unlikely of environments. Section 5. The Fall of Giants. 50 years after the vanishing, the world's tallest structures, those monuments to human ambition, begin their inevitable surrender to gravity. Skyscrapers, once symbols of progress and power, now stand as precarious giants, their foundations weakened by time and neglect. One by one, they fall victims of earthquakes, storms, or simply the inexorable pull of gravity. Their glass facades shatter, sending shards raining down like deadly confetti. The concrete and steel that once seemed so permanent crumble into dust swallowed by the earth. Beneath the surface, a different kind of transformation is taking place. Subway tunnels, once bustling with commuters, now flood with water, creating subterranean rivers. The darkness is broken only by the phosphorescent glow of strange, new life forms, evolving in the depths. Section 6. A World Reborn. A century has passed since humanity's departure. The planet, no longer burdened by the pressures of civilization, has undergone a remarkable transformation. Forests, once fragmented by human activity, have expanded, their canopies merging to create vast, unbroken stretches of green. Deserts, once encroaching on fertile land, have retreated. The air is clean, the water clear, the land rejuvenated. Animals, their populations rebounding in the absence of human interference, roam freely. The delicate balance of nature, disrupted for centuries, has begun to restore itself. But even after a century, the legacy of humanity is not entirely erased. The ruins of our cities, though softened by time and vegetation, still dot the landscape like ghostly reminders of a vanished civilization. They serve as a testament to both the ingenuity and the hubris of our species. Section 7. Skies of Fire and Ice. 500 years have passed, and the Earth continues its journey around the Sun. The skies, once crisscrossed by airplanes, are now the domain of birds and the occasional meteor shower. The silence, once broken by the roar of engines, is now filled with the sounds of wind, water, and the cries of animals. But the universe holds other remnants of humanity. Satellites launched into orbit to serve our communication and observation needs now drift aimlessly, their orbits decaying. One by one they re-enter the atmosphere, burning up in fiery streaks of light. These falling stars, once symbols of human technological prowess, now serve as reminders of our fleeting presence in the cosmos. Down below, the planet barely registers these celestial events. The Earth has moved on, its rhythms dictated by the ancient cycles of nature. The legacy of humanity is fading, becoming just another layer in the planet's long and storied geological history. Section 8. Echoes of a Forgotten Past. A millennium has passed since the last human drew breath. The very concept of humanity has faded into the realm of myth and legend. The stories once passed down through generations have been lost, the memories eroded by the relentless march of time. Yet a few scattered remnants of our civilization endure. Stone structures, their massive blocks weathered and worn, still stand defiant against the elements. Here a crumbling archway, there the shattered remnants of a statue. These fragments, shrouded in vegetation, offer tantalizing glimpses into a forgotten past, their secrets whispered only to the wind. Animals, their evolution shaped by the changing environment, move through these ruins with indifference. The structures, once symbols of human dominance, are now merely part of the landscape, as natural as the rocks and trees that surround them. Section 9. The Earth remembers. 10,000 years, a blink of an eye in geological terms, yet an eternity for our species, now vanished from the face of the Earth. The planet, resilient as ever, has healed from the wounds we inflicted. The air and water are pure, the land teeming with life. The very continents have shifted, their positions altered by the relentless forces of plate tectonics. The climate, too, has changed, shaped by natural cycles that operate on a scale far grander than human understanding. Almost all traces of our existence have been erased. The ruins that once dotted the landscape have crumbled into dust, absorbed back into the earth. The plastic, that most pervasive and enduring symbol of our consumer culture, has finally broken down, its molecules dispersed throughout the environment. Section 10. A legacy of dust, a promise of renewal. The Earth, a blue and green jewel spinning in the vastness of space, bears no malice toward its former inhabitants. It simply is. Life, in all its astonishing diversity and resilience, flourishes on this planet we once called home. The story of humanity, once a dominant chapter, has been reduced to a footnote in the grand epic of life on Earth. But perhaps in the silence of our absence there is a message about the fleeting nature of our own existence and the enduring power of the natural world. A message about the importance of humility, responsibility, and the need to live in harmony with the planet that sustains us. For in the end, we are not masters of this earth, but merely its temporary custodians. And the legacy we leave behind, whether a legacy of dust or a promise of renewal, lies entirely in our hands.